What if I told you the world's most beautiful pens are not made in factories, not even in luxury workshops, but in silence, behind closed doors, in Japan? A secret guild exists, so exclusive, only 87 living artisans in the world may bear its name. A guild sworn to guard an art so fragile, yet so eternal, it has survived for over 1,000 years. They are called Kokkokai, a brotherhood and sisterhood of Urushi masters, guardians of Maki-e, an art where every stroke is permanent, every mistake fatal. From their hands comes something more than luxury, a pen that carries the soul of Japan itself. These are not pens, they are legends, objects so rare. Collectors pay fortunes, and museums fight to display them. Today, at the Pen Insider, we uncover the untold story of Maki-e and reveal how Japan creates the most beautiful pens on Earth. Let's begin. Behind the closed doors of Kokkokai, the process begins. Not with machines, not with assembly lines, but with a single material that has shaped Japanese art for over 1,000 years. The masters call it Urushi. At first glance, it looks like nothing more than lacquer, a dark, glossy coat. But this liquid breathes. It hardens, transforms, endures for millennia. It is sap, drawn from the Urushi tree native to Japan. A tree so rare, it takes 15 years before it can even be tapped. And even then, only a few drops each season. Fresh. It is poisonous, dangerous to touch. Yet in the hands of a master, it becomes something eternal, hardened into a surface that can last not centuries, but millennia. Every Maki pen begins here, with Urushi, a substance that is dangerous, delicate, and yet unbreakable. From this humble tree comes the foundation of Japan's most beautiful pens. So, what is Maki-e? The art itself is ancient, born in Japan more than 1,000 years ago, during the Heian period. Back then, it was used to decorate poetry boxes, sacred scrolls, and treasures of the imperial court. Across the centuries, Maki-e evolved. From the courts of Kyoto to the workshops of Edo, each generation refined it further until it became one of Japan's highest forms of artistic expression. And in the 20th century, this 1,000-year-old tradition found a new vessel, the writing instrument. It begins with a simple barrel, usually carved from ebonite or wood. Onto this humble surface, layers of urushi are applied, each layer cured in darkness, each layer polished by hand. Then comes the art itself, Maki-e. In Japanese, the word means sprinkled picture, but in reality, it is far more than decoration. The master takes powders of gold, silver, even platinum, and with brushes finer than a single hair, sprinkles them onto the lacquer. Patterns emerge, cranes in flight, waves crashing, legends of gods and heroes. Every detail is sealed again with urushi, hardened, polished, and the cycle repeats dozens of times, sometimes hundreds, until the barrel of a pen becomes something more than an object. It becomes a story, captured forever in gold and lacquer. One mistake, and the work is lost forever. A single pen may require months, sometimes years. Because Maki-e is not just painting, it is storytelling, written in gold, lacquer, and time itself. But Maki-e is not only about materials, it is about the hand that shapes them. And at the heart of this tradition stands Kokkokai. Founded in 1931, this guild remains one of the most exclusive in Japan. Even today, fewer than 100 living souls may bear its name. To join is not a matter of choice. It is a lifetime path. Apprentices spend decades in silence, perfecting strokes invisible to the untrained eye before they are even permitted to sign their own work. Kokkokai is not just a school, it is a guardianship, a living chain of masters and students, each sworn to preserve an art that could vanish with a single careless generation. Inside Kokkokai, mistakes are not forgiven. One flaw, and years of labor are lost. Perfection is not an aspiration, it is a vow. Even the nib, the very heart of the pen, is shaped by this philosophy. In Japan, it is not just a piece of metal, it is tuned, polished, sharpened by hand until the pen writes not mechanically, but with the soul of its owner. A Maki-e pen is not manufactured, it is cultivated, like a bonsai, like a life. Every stroke of gold, every breath of lacquer carries the unseen hand of Kokkokai. This is why a Maki-e pen is not luxury in the Western sense of the word. It is not status you are buying, but centuries of devotion captured in your hand. Because Maki-e isn't just art, it's storytelling in lacquer and gold. Cranes, turtles, and waves, symbols of longevity and resilience. Cherry blossoms, a reminder of life's fleeting beauty. Dragons and phoenixes, power, rebirth, divine guardianship. Every motif is more than decoration. It is philosophy made visible, drawn from Shinto, from Buddhism, from centuries of Japanese poetry and myth. When you hold a Maki-e pen, you are not only holding craftsmanship, you are holding symbols meant to outlive you, reminders that life itself is fragile, brief, and precious. This is why a pen can move beyond function. Because in Japanese culture, writing is not just recording words. It is a continuation of spirit. The brush stroke, the ink, the gold, they all become extensions of the inner self. In the end, the story of Maki-e is not about pens. It is about hands. Human hands, choosing patience over speed, devotion over profit, silence over noise. And at the center of it all stands Kokkokai. Not a brand, not a factory, but a living chain, stretching from 1931 to this very day. Each artist is both student and master. Each stroke is both ancient and new. And each pen, though it may rest in your hand, carries the unseen presence of every hand before it. True luxury is not possession, it is preservation. This was the Pen Insider. We dig deep into the world of luxury pens, their stories, scandals, and psychology. If you've made it this far, don't forget to subscribe and check out our last video, Namiki, Japan's sacred pen brand the world forgot. In the end, Maki-e is not luxury. It is memory, lacquered in time. And I'll leave you with this thought. The pen is the tongue of the mind. Miguel de Cervantes and some pens speak entire universe.